safe.
Do you get a sense of why there were threats on his life?
He was honest and he was finding out more about his father. He was finding out more about who was behind that, and he had vowed to show Americans and more aspects for humanity to show where the corruption lay, and he wanted to do it for the honor of his father.
Oh, I see. So, what did he find out about his father? Do you get a sense?
Yes. That it was Americans that had put an assassination onto the father to make sure that the father was no longer going to be in power. And it was what you call the CIA had organized
Mm-hmm.
a group of people to make sure that this day and that time, the Robert, no, the John F. Kennedy Sr. would be removed
Mm-hmm.
from living in that time.
Oh, I see. Why did he need to be removed?
Because he was bringing in attention and information about what was happening, the corruption, and he was discovering a whole lot of truth. He was put into power to play the game and to follow. And he did not want to play that game and he did not want to follow. He had more morals than they hoped he had.
Do you get a sense of what truth he discovered?
Yes, he was aware that there was other life forms on Earth and out into the stratospheres. So he was aware of this information. He was aware of what had caused and who was funding the Holocaust and who was supporting the German regime, which caused the not only the World War One but also the World War Two.
Oh, wow. Can you tell me more about that?
It was American businesses. It was bigger families that were gaining money from endorsing this war, and so they had their pockets were being filled on both sides. Now this was not good for humanity, as you can imagine, and
Mm-hmm.
businesses in America and other families, bigger families, they were profiting from the destruction.
Oh, so he found out about it and he wanted to stop it?
Yes, all the truths that people are starting to know about now and where there is corruption, he had unfolded and unfound a whole lot of information about this. Um, he had the trust, he had the compassion and humanitarian skills to be able to get the truth from people. And he
Mm.
was finding the truth from people, the big information.
Oh, so how did JFK Jr. Find this information?
The same way that his father did by trusting other, by gaining the trust of others who would share information from him. He was the sweetheart of America, and everyone wanted to help him. Everyone who has got a connection to their father themselves could feel the pain that the junior had for the loss of his own father, and so everyone wanted to nurture him and support him and help him any way he could. So he had all access information. Of course, there were some people that were cautious and wary of the very focused son wanting to find out why his father had been taken so publicly away from him and for the country.
Mm, okay. And so he had like a target on his back.
Absolutely.
And so where are they now? How would you describe where they are now?
It would feel that they are within they are protected around the community. It feels like they are in America. They are
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by people who they trust, and they do go out into public. They have aged, and they have more more allies now. They that the truth has been revealed, and as the secrets of the crimes against humanity are becoming more greater, people are more aware of the situation at hand. He is unsure of whether he will come out into public before or after the shift. But once the shift happens, the truth of all will be revealed.
Can you tell me more about that? How does the truth get revealed after the shift?
The veils are removed and you become more consciously aware of the collective of humanity. And so you may have heard us say you are all one, you are all connected. And when you shift into the fifth dimension, you have the consciousness of all one. And so you can tap in if you are interested to know about any subject matter. The more information and truth, you'll be given it. You have to trust the information is true though. And so we say you all have to keep trusting yourselves, keep trusting your own gut. Your gut intuition will never give you mistruth unless you think that you have got food poisoning because your gut is all stirred up. That's never food poisoning. We're trying to get your attention. It's the same with anxiety. You may think that you're getting anxious and concerned and worried, and that's just us tapping your knowledge, tapping your wisdom, trying to get you awake. But unfortunately, because some people are still so fear-based, you will go into that worry and fear of, oh my goodness, did I eat a bad curry last night? Or something about my body, worry, fear. And so we want to say to people that they need to be more connected to self, not only your mind and being in control of your mind with positivity, but also honor your body and all of the signs your body is telling you.
Oh, and what kind of benefits will someone notice if they do that?
Harmony, balanced, grounded, not triggered, emotionally stable.
So, what's the best way for somebody to really tap into themselves and to be in harmony with themselves?
Have alone time, have self time, be with one with nature. Take yourself away from the hustle and bustle of your daily lives. If it's a walk for a few minutes just by yourself, feel and hear the breath. Feel and hear the way your body moves. In simple walking, it's meditative just to feel the action of your body just in balance walking. And if you notice you've got a limp, or if you're walking a bit sideways, or one arm moves in a different direction, just allow that to happen and just be noticing your body and how it works.
Wow, it's beautiful. Okay. And so, how will people tap into their truth in the fifth dimension? You said that they need to trust what's coming up. So, does it feel like it's their intuition? That's where they go to find the knowledge when we shift?
Mm-hmm. You will have the sense that you're going to need to have a bigger purpose, a bigger mission, a bigger role soon, and you sort of are all scratching your heads going, where is this new role? Where am I moving to? What's happening? You've got this urgency within you to get a move on, and you don't quite know what it is. So you're thinking, should I be moving? Should I be finding new careers? What is happening here? And that's completely normal. You also may feel that you've got no motivation with the life you've got right now, and everything feels a little bit dull. That's also because it's the end of that chapter, and you are literally in a waiting pause for it to happen and to move on for the greater lessons that the fifth dimension has for you.
A lot of people Sorry.
It's fine, continue.
A lot of people do talk about having the feeling that they have a greater purpose. What kind of what kind of things, roles are people going to play in the fifth dimension?
So when you arrive in the fifth dimension on New Earth, or even the planets, the other planets that you have come from before this lifetime, you will remember the bigger beings you are and the bigger skill sets that you have. You've mastered them for so long in all your different lifetimes. Then you become and you remind yourself and you remember who you are. You remember your powerful skill sets that you have so hardly earned and learnt, and you will share those if you choose to go to the new earth. You will be helping awaken and snap people into the reality of you are here now physically in the fifth dimension. You're still struggling with your third dimensional belief systems. And we're here to help you. And so we share the knowledge of what's been happening. We support people who are still not able to trust what's happening to themselves and around themselves. And so it is about compassion, it is about teaching, sharing, supporting others while they slowly get updated with what has been happening and reminding them of their own greater gifts. People have been asleep for so long. So many people have had multiple lifetimes. We need to have a breather and feel nurtured and enjoy the experience of learning about themselves again as the veil has been removed and as they can start trusting the more greater information at their, we want to say fingertips, but it literally is at your mindset. As soon as you wish to learn something more, it will be in your mindset. And so this is why
Oh,
trusting what you get given will be a perfect situation for you to go with and learn.
oh, okay. So one of the big roles that a lot of people that will have in the shift will be helping others awaken.
Yes, they
Okay.
will be confused. There will still be a lot of people confused and dazed. There will still be people literally not aware of what's even happened, and they will still be seeing their dimensional realities because they are so clung on to those belief systems. Everyone will be seeing the new earth the way that they can cope with it. And so it is supporting people in that system.
Does the new earth look different for each person, or is it a collectively shared idea?
It will look, for the people who enter into the new earth at the beginning, it will just be one with nature. It will be very rudimentary with that. And you get to design your own environment, and it will be simply just with manifesting thought. And
Okay.
once you're aware that you're not in your third dimensional reality, you will start then forming your own, and you'll become masters of manipulation, and you will realize that there is no lack and there is no limitations for your creativity and your creations that you provide and create in that new world. Of course, there's boundaries and limits, and people who try to push those will be reminded that there is karma in the new earth and that you are to still honor and respect others. And most people will respect that.
Oh, okay. Is the new earth similar to the other side where most souls go after a lifetime?
Um, New earth is different from heaven. And so we say that to people who understand that when you die, you go to heaven. And we know that people don't always think that, but we're going to call the afterlife heaven. The new earth is not the afterlife. New earth is the after old earth. It's an extension, it's just a big leap in evolution from the old earth to the new earth. And this is a jump in evolution for you all. and we're getting you back on track from where you should have been.
Why does there need to be a jump at this time?
Because the Earth is going through a transition herself.
Why? Why
Um,
is it going through a transition?
because she's learned all that she needs to learn in the third dimension herself. And so she's also wanting to grow. And there has been a lag. There should have been a natural progression. And we are taking over and helping the shift this way.
I see. And will JFK Jr., you said he hasn't decided if he's going to come back before the shift or after. Um, could you tell me more about that? Will this be a big surprise to everyone, or will they know?
More and more people are starting to sense that there have been people who have, for lack of better words, faked their own deaths to remove themselves from the public eye and the threat of being murdered. And so there have been a lot of, in quotation marks, suicides that have been murders. And so a lot of people have been trying to avoid this and hide and go under the radar. And so his decision, his personal decision, whether to come into the public before or after the shift, has to do with what the destruction of where he is currently living in, what that looks like. There's a whole lot of personal factors and the state and the drama and the stress of what's going to be happening with the changes of the earth as she is starting to ascend. Maybe a bigger distraction, and it may not be necessary for him to come into the public.
And what will he do after he does? Oh, so he might not be necessary for him to come into the public, but if he does, will he shock people with the truths he's going to say, or at that time will most people know?
It will be very shocking to most, even the people who suspect, because it's the truth, and everyone needs to have some form of proof before they can fully, completely, 100% sign on into it. And so, unless you've seen him yourself, you still have a little bit of reservation of whether it's true or not. And this is the right approach to have. Unless you see the person yourself and can sense their energy with your energy, then you can validate whether they are the true being. There is a lot of people that are being shown in the media, for example, who no longer are alive.
Oh, tell me more about that.
There have been people that have been taken out through the crimes against humanity from the higher, we call it, for this example, in these sessions, the military grade close courts. It is not human military. It is something else. And
Tell me more.
there have been people that have been taken to face being removed from this planet. Their lives have been ended because of their ill intent for humanity. This is the reptilian-based beings that have caused mayhem.
Oh, I see. But yet you can still see them on the media? How is that possible?
Well, it's old footage, and it's also computer-generated footage.
Oh, okay. Anything else you want to say about that?
It's all the people that you have heard that have done, who have been named. Most of the people
Right.
bigger names, the bigger politicians,
Right.
the stars, the people who have been behind the scenes that have been controlling and manipulating the masses into their slumber. They have been taken and resolved. So therefore, this is why the more information is coming out now, because it's unstoppable. Previously, a lot of limited information because there was still forces that could have affected people. The higher self and subconscious will never expose the truth that may get the being, the vehicle, into trouble, and
Right.
so they will protect themselves from exposing the truths when they could have been their life contract could have been terminated quicker by other people's free will. That is no longer the case now. The protection has been removed because the threat of, in quotation marks, the bad guys have been taken off planet.
Okay. I just had a question and I forgot what it was. Oh, is there supposed to be some sort of an announcement so that the population will learn of these things?
There has been in different belief systems. So if you are religious, you would be hearing that it's the rapture or the end of days, and so you're hearing it from your ministers, and it should be those people telling. But generally, it has not been publicly acknowledged that this shift is about to occur. This shift and this event, we call it the shift from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, because that's how we are very specific with the situation as such, in terms of vibration. And we know that there's other groups that call it different things. And regardless of whether you're religious or whether you're spiritual or new age, or if you are science minded, and you're all hearing information that's trying to give you clues to what is happening. We cannot tell you or direct what's happening because that will change and force your free will upon you. And so we're nudging some certain people to start telling the truth now that it's safe to do that. And so people are learning more truths. And also you're finding out in your dreams and also you're noticing your bodies are changing. There is more people waking up to the truth, and they're just feeling it within themselves. So the information's coming out depending on how you're getting your own information, whether you listen to the news or whether you listen to social media or whether you listen to yourself. However you're seeking the information and asking the questions, you will be getting the appropriate information for you, for your current belief systems and what you can cope with right now.
I see. But there doesn't look like there will be a big announcement on the news per se.
No, it won't. They won't be able to grasp how to announce this.
Okay, just curious. Very interesting. Thank you so much. So is there anything else that you could say about JFK Jr.? How would you describe where he lives now?
It is in a very secure place where there is, it's not a bunker, it is a big home. And there are a lot of people supporting him. And he lives a relatively, what looks very lavish to us. It is still very humble. And he wanted to have a normal life, not being in fear as such of his wife and their children to be vulnerable. He wanted to be a father so desperately, but he also
How many children? Okay.
He was also very desperately afraid because he had great role models. He didn't know how. His deeper worries was, how can he truly be a father when he did not have the pleasure of knowing his own father so deeply? But he did have the right role models, and he has taken great pleasure in being a father in this lifetime, and this gives him great joy. But he has honored his children by keeping himself safe. and keeping himself away from the public eye because he vowed he would never allow what happened to his father happen to him. And so when he did get the final death threats, when he was being threatened by his life because of what he was trying to uncover, he took that very seriously.
I see. Wow. And how many children did he end up having? Do you get a sense?
3, we see 3.
Wonderful. Are there any relatives of his that know that he's still alive?
His mother, who is also alive.
Oh, she is?
She is. She's very frail.
Interesting. Okay. Anybody else know that he's still alive?
A lot of his family members, but
Oh, they do?
they know the truth about why John Kennedy was killed, and so they have always known bigger truths. They have always been part of the inner stories. They are a family, a force of a family within themselves. They are very connected. They are very protected at the moment also.
Oh, wow. Thank you very, very much. I just had another question about what is the best way for a person right now, going through what we're going through right now, to prepare themselves for this shift and to make it the easiest they can possibly make it.
Trust yourself. Trust the fact that when you wrote your life contract with your free will, that you wanted the very best for you, for your soul's growth. Therefore, accept that when you wrote your life contract, you did not know all the lessons and everything you have learned along this way on this journey. So trust you do have the free will to choose where you want to go after the shift. Trust that it will be the best place for you and your soul's growth. And trust that you will never lose anyone. And even though you may not be physically in contact with them anymore because of the different locations you will be, you will have more intensely powerful, stronger connections to them because of the new senses you will be gaining. And we say this will be like telepathic communication. Not only will you be able to chit chat to each other in a telepathic sense of mind, you will also get to sense how the other person is feeling. And so you will have more deeper connections to people, more so than if you were sitting with someone right now and looking at each other and having a conversation. That is such the most limited way to connect with each other. And right now in your lives, this is what you would consider the most deepest way to connect with each other. So therefore, when families are so concerned that you will not be traveling together in the new earth, if you choose to go into different directions, they will always be supported by each other and you will have greater connections. Your souls are thirsty for knowledge and growth and learning, and no one in the fifth dimension with the fifth dimension mindset will limit you from that.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so very, very much for everything that you've shared today. Is there anything else that you want to say about anything?
There is so much we would like to share with you all because we know you are also stuck in fear in one degree or another. We say to you that there is nothing to fear. Trust yourselves, trust each other. We feel like we have said so much before, and we just want to remind you that you are not bodies. You merely just have these bodies. And you're not the identity of your careers. You are not the identity of your in your families. Those are just experiences that you're having in this human lifetime. All will be one. And your free will still be intact. You will be still using your free will for the shift. And we say that you can surrender and trust all will be well. But we understand that the fear of the 3D mindset will still be afraid of the shift and what you perceive you will be lacking with the shift and the changes.
I see. Thank you very, very much. Can you do a body scan on Joanne?
Mm-hmm.